Hi, I'm the author of the blog Oh God, My Wife is German. This is a pair of her panties. This is one of her bras. Let's do this thing. One thing you should probably know is that I have a cold. Um, I feel like dog shit. I can see the bags under my eyes in the camera. I'm super pale, and I absolutely hate everything. So normally I have a better attitude, and I can think and speak like a human being. Not today, so bear with me. If you can hear a dog barking in the background, that's Yeti. He's downstairs in his cage. He's not too happy about it. You can follow him on Twitter. Seriously, just search for Yeti the Evil Beagle. That's Yeti. The last time I made a video, it was because I ran out of time to write a blog post, and I haven't missed my Monday morning deadline since I started this thing back in 2011, I think. And so I was trying to think of the fastest way to get something out, and so I just recorded it. And frankly, I expected my readers to rip me a new asshole about it, but I think a lot, especially my long-term readers, they'd never seen me in any way before. They'd seen my hands and feet, and my wife's, and heard our voices in videos, but I've never stood in front of the camera like this. It's pretty weird. Anyway, I started getting a bunch of questions that I hadn't been asked before, and then I started thinking about some of the questions that I'm asked on a weekly basis. So I figured I would just answer them all right now, super fast. Some people wondered why I was wearing panties on my head, and that's just to preserve some amount of anonymity, because it's not for me personally. It's that if I can be identified, then maybe my wife can be identified, and this blog was my idea. There's no reason for her to be, exposed in any way. This is my thing, and so it's to protect my wife, strangely enough. Although she doesn't much like it that I stretch out her panties over my giant head, and apparently don't put them away properly. I think I do a pretty good job. Jeez. Why do I wear two wedding rings? Because in the States we wear them on our left ring finger, and in Germany they wear them on the right. So my wife has two rings as well, and I guess we wanted to leave no doubt about it. We're taken. Fuck off a little bit. But yeah, it's just to cover our bases. This thing itches. I'm asked this on a weekly basis. And I've tried to answer it as best I could on the frequently asked questions page of my blog, but it's how do you attain either temporary or permanent resident status in Germany? And I was already married to a German citizen, so it was really kind of a no-brainer other than what I've already talked about on the blog. You just read the shit. I just read it, please. I guess the short answer is just Google it. That's what I did. I didn't ask anybody for advice because I felt that my situation was unique. I didn't have a job coming to Germany. I lost it when I left, and so I had to start my own business, and I didn't know if my unemployment status would be a weird thing. I didn't know, my wife was in the referendariat program, so she wasn't like a full-fledged teacher exactly yet. So it was unique, and everyone's situation is unique, and especially if you come from some other country. God forbid some war-torn hell zone, but you really got to do your own research. There's no one that can help you. I can't. The best I can do is tell you to read about it, and don't be a lazy fuck. Oh, shit. Regardless, if you come to Germany and you want to change your visa status from like a tourist to a resident, be it permanent or temporary or otherwise or whatever, an asylum seeker, no matter what, you're going to have to go to the Ausländerbehörde. It's just the immigration department. There's one in every city. And the first time you go, they'll ask you a few questions in German. They're different every time. So I was asked, for instance, to spell my name, to explain how I arrived at the office that day, where I was from, how old I was, stuff like that. And I totally blew it. even though I'd studied a little bit of German, I just I panicked and I I couldn't even spell my own name. So, but I think the point is that they want people to go through the integration course system that involves German language classes A1, A2, and B1. And then you have to take the B1 exam. And once you have that, and you have the certificate for that, that's when you can then apply for permanent status or simply extend your status. If you're like me and you have a German citizen as a spouse, they're just going to give you straight up a 3-year residence card. And that's to give you 3 years to go through the integration system and to take those classes. It was automatic. And yeah, if you don't have a German spouse, I don't know. And frankly, I actually can't speak to anything other than Niedersachsen, and Lower Saxony. That's where I am, in Hanover. Your situation may be different, but I doubt it, unless you're in Bavaria. Let me just adjust my tits here. How hard is the B1 exam? Not very. It depends. It depends how seriously you take the class. It depends on how well you prepare before you even get to Germany. I was scared shitless of that test, so I took it very seriously, and I got really mad when some of the people in my class were screwing around or talking or whatever. But if you study and you're serious, don't even fret. You're going to be fine. The people who take it, myself included, are at the B1 level. You're beginning to be fluent, I would say. Just beginning. I mean, not much is expected of you. If you're speaking in complete sentences with Nebensätze, and you'll learn what those are, you're fine. You're way ahead of the curve. That said, a lot of the people in my class failed. It was pretty funny because they deserved to fail. They didn't want to be there. They weren't taking it seriously. They were a distraction. They didn't study. They didn't do the homework. They sure as hell didn't prepare themselves before they got to Germany, and they fucking failed. So that meant they get to do it all over again. But again, Germany's got some pretty sweet laws regarding that. They're not just going to throw your ass out. So just study. Oh shit, I think my wife is home. Do I have to pay taxes to both Germany and the United States? The answer is kind of. What you actually have to do is file your tax return in both countries. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to pay both countries. In fact, you shouldn't. If you own property in the States, you probably have to pay for property taxes. But other than that, you're going to be paying your taxes to the country where you live. It doesn't matter if you're working, like me, self-employed with American clients. You pay the country you live in. It's just that the United States is one of the few countries that requires its citizens to file a return, just, I guess, to keep tabs. I don't know, but it's super annoying. It sucks. It's the bane of the expat existence here in Germany. Being an American expat in Germany has one major advantage and one major disadvantage. The disadvantage is that by nature, your family is going to be back home in the States, or even if you're not American, you're going to be torn between the two countries, especially over the holidays. And I've never really been homesick or anything, but it does suck to have like your parents or your friends back home, and it's never fair for both families. It's just not. That kind of sucks. But one huge advantage to being an expat here in Germany, at least for me personally, is that I am never, ever bored. There's the language to deal with, the different cultures, the different cultural aspects to get used to. And, I'm constantly learning. You're a perpetual student when you're an expat. And it's healthy for your mind. It's healthy for everything you do. I can't recommend it enough. And if you can't, live abroad even for a short period of time, please travel. See how other people live. Your brain will just expand, Germany is an awesome country. America's great too. There's no paradise on this earth anywhere. Nowhere is perfect. But moving to Germany was, well, a close second in terms of the best decisions I've ever made. A close second to marrying my wife. That said, if my wife had been Mexican, I would probably be living in Mexico right now, learning Spanish. If she were Polish, I'd be in Poland. If she were Russian, I never would have dated her in the first place. Just kidding. But that's all for now. I hope it was helpful, and have a great week. Tschüss!